Buonasera, benvenuti alla Casa Italiana Zerilli-Marimò e alla 33esima edizione del N.I.C.E Film Festival, 33rd edition of the N.I.C.E Film Festival, New Italian Cinema Events. It's easy to remember for us because we were born the same year, the Casa and N.I.C.E. And from the very beginning, there was a natural collaboration between this institution and the festival that at that time was basically the only festival that brought Italian cinema to New York. Now we have many others, and new ones come and others go, but N.I.C.E remains, and we make it a point to continue to consider them special friends for that pioneering role that they had. And I would like to thank Viviana Del Bianco, who is the director of N.I.C.E, who is not here with us tonight. She's in Florence, she doesn't travel too easily, and I'm sure she will be happy to hear from the New York friends that they appreciate the work that she's still doing from this palace in the Oltrarno in Florence, near Santo Spirito, and I go every summer to see her, and we exchange like 2 hours of film titles and impressions, and it's always a very spirited conversation, and it's the result of the work that Viviana does with distributors, producers, directors, and so we're very grateful, and we are going to ask Mila Tenaglia, who is the director of N.I.C.E here in New York, to bring to Viviana our greetings and our thanks. And please now welcome Mila Tenaglia.
Hi everyone, thank you very much to be here. We hope you are going to enjoy the movie tonight. It's the first feature of Corrado Ceron. The movie Olimpia's Way, Acqua e anice, is a magic road trip set up in Emilia-Romagna. We want to welcome here Corrado Ceron, the director, and later they are going to have a Q&A, so please stay. And I want to remind also that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow we will have 2 more screenings, one at the Italian Cultural Institute and another one at the Casa Italiana Zerilli-Marimò. So you are welcome to join us, and please enjoy the movie. And also we have one of the main characters, Stefania Sandrelli, that recorded a video for us, and she's greeting the movie.
Please welcome Corrado Ceron.
Thank you, thank you.
Accomodati.
Grazie.
Maybe if we can have the light also in the house. Thank you. Corrado, it's a film about a very delicate topic. It's the end of life, and it's a topic very much debated in Italy at this time and in many other parts of the world. But watching the trailer, one would think that it's a film that is like a light comedy with a great diva from the 70s and 80s, and it's something else. So first of all, the idea of making a film about this topic. And then how come the definition of what gender is it? Is it a tragedy, is it drama, is it comedy, is it both? Which one prevails, and was that your intention?
For me, the genre of the movie is a dramedy. So I tried
Dramedy.
So I tried to keep a balance between a drama and a comedy, because it was important for me to talk about a strong and delicate topic with softness, lightness, and poetry. I didn't want to talk about death, but this is, for me, is a film about it's a hymn to life and to freedom of choice. So it's a comedy, because you sometimes you laugh with the Olimpia, but at the same time, maybe in the same scene, you can cry.
That is also one of the great features of classical Italian cinema. If you think of Open City, Roma Città Aperta,
Yes.
the most dramatic scene in the history of Italian cinema, when Anna Magnani runs after the truck that is taking away her fiancé, and she's gunned down by a machine gun, happens immediately after the most slapstick comedy scene in the film when the priest hits the old man who doesn't want to pretend to be dying with a frying pan. So they're a few seconds apart. So it's something that is really part of the Italian tradition to put together, and in such a close vicinity and almost contrast, the highest drama and the most
But also,
fun.
this is life.
Yeah.
Also here, because
Not always so immediate, but yes.
and the original idea of the movie dates back to 2015, when I heard about an old lady who made a trip to Switzerland to die. She didn't have any illness, and nobody knew her intentions, and I wanted to pay an homage to her and to all the death by choice, because of the courage and the brave of this woman, and to all the people that in Italy now want to die because of illness or other things, and couldn't, because there's no defined legislation in Italy. There is in Belgium, in Deutsch, in Germany, no, in Holland,
Holland,
in Holland,
Netherlands,
in Netherlands, and in Switzerland, but in Italy exists the assisted suicide, but in determinate situations. Only 5 people could die in Italy for euthanasia.
and they don't even call it that, right? Non la chiamano nemmeno così.
No, suicidio assistito.
And so, just for our audience, so the most common thing for people in Italy that made the decision of this kind is going to Switzerland.
Yes.
If they cross a border, there is not really even a border,
And
they,
it's not legal. It's not legal accompany a person
so
to
for
Switzerland.
the Italian legislation, the person who accompanies another person in Switzerland for this can be accused to be an accomplice in homicide, and be judged in the Italian court system for that crime. So that's why Switzerland is mentioned. And by the way, I heard a very interesting and in-depth story on NPR of an American couple that goes to Switzerland, and it's the wife telling the story of this journey from the United States to Switzerland, and the moment in which they have to be separated, the moments in which they can be together. It's heartbreaking, but very, very well done. And it's on the radio, and I think you can find it very easily in the podcast of NPR. And it's Americans that go to Switzerland. Yes.
That's a book called In Love.
Yes. Yes, Amy Bloom. And it was on NPR, they had a podcast. Yes, absolutely. And the title is? In Love. Because it's really, like you said here, it's not a film about death, it's a film about the life of these people. And in the case of this couple, it was very much a book, and the podcast is about their love, the great love that bound them together. La Sandrelli, dici qualcosa. Sandrelli, she acted with all the most important directors in Italy and in Europe, and she's considered musa ispiratrice. Perché la Sandrelli?
But Stefania, for me, had the physique du role for this part, and when she read the script, she immediately said yes to me, and I was very surprised because
it's his first feature film.
Yes, it's my first work. Thank you. No, I was surprised because Sandrelli receives thousands of screenplays, and it's very hard. She accept to make a movie with a director at his first experience. So I was very lucky. And no, on set, Stefania was very professional and humble. And I was the first days I was very anxious and nervous, but immediately in the first day of the set, she calmed me, okay. Mi ha tranquillizzato. She calmed me down, and then she was fantastic, yes, and she improvised a lot, but she wants to be directed very strictly. So I had to tell her where to go, where to start, what she had to say. Instead, Silvia, the other lady, the young lady, improvised a lot, but she was more autonomous. Independent.
Why do you think is that? Why do you think is that?
And there are
That
two
great diva of the 70s who acted with Bertolucci and everybody else.
Sono due scuole di pensiero diverse.
Two schools of thought, two different ideas of cinema and generations, obviously.
Yes, one classical, traditional, Sandrelli, who there is the director that tell you what to do, okay, and instead Silvia is the new school of acting, and they are more independent. They create by herself the character, and they grown up with their character without the director also.
So actors of the new generation are used to build their own characters.
Yes.
By themselves, studying, and so they would listen if you tell them to come in a certain way, but they also have their own role in their mind, very well defined.
And the characters often become also other characters da come sono nati, cioè diventano altri.
And they even become different characters compared to how they were born.
And anche rispetto all'idea del regista.
And the idea of the director. They take a life of their own according to the kind of interpretation that the actor gives. And a sense of this comes, if you think, for example, that the legend, but it's not a legend, it's true, that Fellini would not even tell the actors what they were reciting, what they were acting. And in some cases, he would tell them, count the numbers from 15 to 85. So instead of using, all his films are dubbed, as you know, right? In the set, the actors act, and each of them in his or her own language. Same thing with Visconti. And so, for example, in The Leopard, you have scenes in which Alain Delon speaks French, and Cardinale speaks Italian, and Burt Lancaster speaks English, and then everybody is dubbed. So each of them dubs herself or himself in his own language or her language, and a dubber dubs the other one. So it's a bit of a Babel, and the director has absolute control when the situation is like this. So the fact that Fellini even told the actors the numbers, and smile when you arrive at number 5, and then when you arrive at number 15, turn to the other side. So they had no idea what they were saying. It's like a total control of the director over the acting, right? And Ingrid Rossellini, the daughter of Ingrid Bergman, also told me that for her mother, being a good actress meant following closely and with absolute loyalty and obedience what the director wanted. It was like she really used those terms also, almost military. And Ingrid Bergman is one of the greatest actresses of all time. But she perceived her role as an actress as being sort of clay in the hands of the director.
The challenge for a director, in this case for me, with Stefania, was to balance the character and the actress. Because in all the movie of Stefania Sandrelli, you see mostly Stefania and less the character, because it's always Stefania, okay? But sometimes it's right to balance these things, because in this case, Olimpia and Stefania could be the same person. So
The former diva, very well known, that had this moment of splendor. Sandrelli
with loss of memories.
Yeah. But she never
It's
stopped.
real.
But she never stopped making films, Stefania Sandrelli. Unlike Olimpia, that has a decline in her career. Of course, she's not the diva of the 70s, but she's still making a lot of films as a protagonist, like in this one.
Yes.
And so she's not a diva on the decline.
No.
She's
It's
a
not
steady presence.
Sunset, non Viale del Tramonto.
Unless it's a very long tramonto, very long sunset. I think we can open the conversation with our audience. Yes, please. Wait for the microphone, so it's going to be in the recording. Thank you.
So if this work of art did not have a script and all I saw was the pictures, one frame after another, bravo. Bravo. It was just
Thank you.
breathtaking. I mean, each frame was just a beautiful picture in itself. And I especially liked how you went from bright sunshine to dark when the script called for dark. And it was just a feast, So bravo. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Curiosities, comments? If you have,
The character that she played in some way reminded me of La Prima Cosa Bella di Verzi, and I saw the continuation of the character in some way. In one film, in Verzi's film, she dies naturally, but in this one, it's by choice, and I saw some similarity in the way Sandra played the role. That love of life in that character.
Yes, it's similar also because the wigs and the illness. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, we have a question there.
Thank you. That was enchanting and uplifting and blissful and melancholy, and it was a blend of so many wonderful things, the contrast between the color, the black and white, the dark and the light. The one question I had about your balance of blending the water and the anice, how did you come up with that amazing imagery?
Come sei arrivato, ti ha fatto un sacco di complimenti. E poi questa immagine del perfetto equilibrio degli ingredienti nell'acqua anice, come sei arrivato a usare questa immagine per creare questo?
Water and anice is are words of a song, Italian song, and che non sto qui a tradurre perché è un casino. No,
The
no.
lyrics of an Italian song that he's not going to translate because it's very complicated.
There is the metaphor of the two characters. So water is like Maria because it's transparent. It's
And it has to be sparkling.
and without flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma deve essere frizzante, no? Perché appena stappata la bocca.
Esatto. And anise is alcoholic. And
It's like sambuca.
yes,
Yeah.
similar sambuca, sì. And vital. So it's the image of the couple of the two women for me, but also the Water and anise has a color not bright, but it's like a fog. Okay, so the fog is like the confusion that Olimpia has in her mind. Loss of memory, the confusion. She doesn't remember the name of the things, the places, because she got lost in the supermarket. So it was the image of the confusion, and also the color of this drink is the same color of the medicine at the end.
And the other thing that has always surprised me is when you mix water with anice or sambuca, it becomes this sort of whitish, milky color. So, and the two liquids separately are crystal clear, but you put them together and they become something else.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Da bambino.
Lei li beveva orzata, comunque, che è lo stesso colore.
Do you have other questions? Yes, back there and then here.
Hi, thank you so much. That was very beautiful and moving. The actress who played Maria, you were saying she was much more independent in her interpretation, and I thought she was so subtle. Her role, she was almost a foil. Non so come dire in italiano foil, a foil. Come un bilancio per Olimpia.
Ah.
A foil. Anyway, sì.
Ah, ok.
Mettevo un contrasto.
Sì.
Yes.
Ho capito,
Sì.
grazie.
E volevo sapere se lei, se l'attrice ha molto esperienza.
Yes, I wanted that this film was founded by the clash of the two characters, because this offers me the opportunity to create hilarious situations and the comic situations, but also dramatic situations. Silvia D'Amico, the actress, now she's a very popular actress, a young actress in Italy. She worked also with Muccino for a TV series, and she made lots of movies. Yes, I think 20 movies. Yes. Maybe also small parts and not protagonist, but she works a lot. Yes, and she was very good at make a contrast with the vivacity and the arrogance of Olimpia. Olimpia is anarchist. Silvia is square,
Order, yeah.
square, rigid, pathetic also, and maybe is older Maria than Olimpia. Is
We have time for one more question here. Here, that, and that, yours. Absolutely.
It's just a small detail. I noticed the glass of the medicine was plastic. Is there a reason for that?
che il bicchiere era di
Perché
plastica.
il bicchiere era di plastica.
The production doesn't no. There was plastic glass because to document me the real interview that they do in Switzerland clinic. I saw a short documentary in on YouTube, in which after the death there is an interview of the doctor in which she says that the death was intentionally, and she is not responsible for it. Okay, and the glass was always in plastic. So I have noticed that. So I reproduce the real glass on my film.
Yes.
Where did you shoot the film, and how did you come up with the? How did you decide the places where you would shoot it? Dove l'hai tornato e come hai deciso?
All the journey was in the region of Emilia-Romagna. All the places are there. Also, the Switzerland, where they go with the van on the mountain, was Verona. Lessinia was the mountain of Verona. We never been to Switzerland.
Around Verona.
And the clinic was a museum, a private museum.
In Verona?
No, in Comacchio.
Okay.
The final scene where she walks into the water and she's set free. She gets.
Yes.
In the final scene where she walks into the water and she's finally free, she takes off her brassiere. That's how we know. And is she free to go on living a full life, or is she free to choose an early death?
Yes, she doesn't commit suicide at the end. Ma due mi hanno detto che...
I think we had a great experience with the excellent opera prima. So the director is Corrado Ceron. The film is Acqua e Anice, or in English, Olimpia's Way. Let people know that you saw it. As you know, creating a buzz around this film is the best thing you can do to possibly create opportunities for distribution in the United States. So talk about this film, mention this interview, send the link, let people know that you saw it and that you liked it. Thank you again very much. Hai sentito che audience bravissima abbiamo?
Thank you. Grazie.
And thank you all for your questions. I am very proud of my audience at the Casa. Thank you.